Most people think pocket guns are jokes. Tiny barrels, limited capacity, barely enough power to stop an attacker. The firearms industry has spent decades convincing us that bigger means better, that you need a full-size pistol to be effective. But here's what they don't tell you. Some of the most decisive defensive encounters in recent history involve firearms small enough to hide in your palm. The FBI's own ballistics data shows that shot placement and penetration matter infinitely more than caliber size alone. These 5 firearms have earned their reputation not through marketing campaigns or action movies, but through cold, hard ballistics data and real-world tactical performance. Number 5, the North American Arms Mini Revolver. The first time you see one of these, your brain refuses to process what you're looking at. The entire gun measures just over 4 inches long and weighs less than a smartphone. The stainless steel frame gleams like jewelry, and the tiny wooden grips make it look more like a collectible than a defensive tool. But this miniature revolver fires 22 Magnum rounds, one of the most underestimated cartridges in existence. When that tiny projectile leaves the 1-inch barrel at roughly 800 to 950 feet per second, it carries enough focused energy to penetrate surprisingly deep into standard FBI ballistic gelatin. Testing reveals that this small round creates a wound channel that far exceeds what its size suggests. The lightweight bullet tumbles unpredictably upon impact in ballistics gel, creating rapid energy transfer that effectively stops threats. This mechanical performance turns a tiny platform into a genuine deterrent. The North American Arms Mini Revolver's greatest advantage isn't just its power, though. It's the complete psychological disarmament it creates. Consider a tactical scenario where a defender is being focused on by an assailant. Because the mini revolver resembles a keychain or a small tool, a draw can be initiated in plain sight without alerting the threat. This shifts the tactical advantage back to the defender in a matter of seconds. Defensive instructors note that these mini revolvers are often carried daily for years without a single person noticing them. Owners legally conceal carry them in gym shorts, formal wear, and fitted clothing where traditional firearms would immediately print. Not because they are trying to hide something nefarious, but because the gun simply vanishes into everyday life. The manufacturing precision on these revolvers rivals weapons costing 10 times more. Each cylinder is hand-fitted to tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch. The single-action trigger breaks cleanly, and the mechanics are incredibly robust. This isn't a novelty item disguised as a gun. It's a precision instrument disguised as a novelty item. Number 4, the Beretta 21A Bobcat. The Italian firearms manufacturer Beretta has been perfecting pocket pistols since the early 1900s, but the 21A Bobcat represents the culmination of nearly a century of miniaturization engineering. The polished stainless steel slide measures just 4.5 inches long, and the entire weapon weighs only 11 ounces when loaded. What makes the Bobcat unique isn't immediately obvious from looking at the specifications. The .22 long rifle cartridge seems small, but the Bobcat's brilliant tip-up barrel design solves the biggest physical barrier to pocket pistols, the stiff slide rack. Traditional semi-automatics require the shooter to manually pull back a heavy slide to chamber the first round, a task that is notoriously difficult in micro-pistols. The Bobcat bypasses this entirely. The shooter manually tips the barrel upward and drops a cartridge directly into the chamber. This makes it an incredibly capable option for shooters with reduced hand strength or arthritis who cannot operate traditional slides. Real-world performance data highlights why this platform works. A study of defensive gun uses found that pocket pistol encounters generally occur at an average distance of less than 7 feet. At this close range, with premium defensive rimfire ammunition, the Bobcat's double-action trigger and minimal recoil create what tactical experts call the sewing machine effect. Because the recoil is virtually non-existent, a defender can deliver a rapid string of precision shots in a tight pattern. The ability to place highly accurate, low-recoil shots exactly where they need to go allows for rapid target engagement. This combination of tactical surprise and speed can neutralize a threat immediately. The Bobcat's double-action trigger allows for immediate firing without manually cocking the weapon. The smooth trigger pull and minimal recoil keep all follow-up shots on target, even under extreme stress. This combination of reliability, accuracy, and rapid-fire capability earned the 21A its reputation among professionals who needed deep concealment options. Number 3, the Kel-Tec P32. George Kellgren revolutionized pocket pistol design when he introduced the P32 in 1999. The aerospace engineer applied aircraft construction principles to firearms manufacturing, creating a pistol that weighs an astonishing 6.5 ounces but fires the .32 ACP cartridge. The polymer frame construction reduces weight without sacrificing strength, but the real engineering genius lies in the P32's locked breech short recoil system. Unlike simple blowback 32s that require heavy slides and stiff springs to operate safely, this Browning-style action allows the Kel-Tec to remain incredibly light while managing the recoil of the cartridge flawlessly. Ballistics testing in heavy clothing and gel reveals why the 32 ACP cartridge earned its reliable reputation during the early 20th century. The small, hard-cast bullet penetrates deeply while maintaining its trajectory. Unlike some hollow point rounds that expand prematurely and lose penetration, the 32 ACP punches through heavy barriers to reach vital depth requirements consistently. The P-32's 7-round magazine capacity provides sustained defensive capability in an incredibly compact package. The pistol measures less than 5 inches in overall length and stands just 3.5 inches tall. Law enforcement officers report that the weapon completely disappears when carried in an ankle holster or deep pocket. The practical advantage of the P-32 is its absolute reliability under adverse conditions. The locked breech design is far more forgiving of environmental debris than competing simple blowback designs. In a tactical carjacking scenario, the P-32 offers a decisive advantage simply because it is light enough to be carried comfortably in situations where a heavier gun would be left at home. Federal agents began adopting P-32 pistols as deep cover backup weapons. The combination of absolute concealment, mechanical reliability, and adequate stopping power made it ideal for undercover operations where traditional firearms would be immediately detected. Number 2. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. Smith & Wesson spent years developing the Bodyguard 380, specifically targeting the concealed carry market that demanded both capability and concealability. The result was a revolutionary polymer-framed pistol that fires the 380 ACP cartridge while weighing only 12 ounces. The 380 ACP represents the perfect balance between power and controllability in a pocket pistol. Modern 380 ammunition loads have transformed this cartridge into a serious defensive option. Premium defensive rounds expand reliably while penetrating 12 to 15 inches in ballistic gelatin, meeting FBI standards while generating significantly less muzzle blast than a 9mm. The Bodyguard's integrated laser sight system provides unprecedented accuracy for a pocket pistol. The red laser dot appears with a push of a button, eliminating the sight radius limitations that plague other small firearms. In low-light conditions, this feature becomes absolutely critical for rapid, precise shot placement. Tactical trainers often cite the psychological impact of that laser sight. The 6-round magazine provides industry-standard capacity for the pocket pistol class, but the exceptionally slim profile allows for easy concealment of spare magazines. Experienced users can perform a reload in under 2 seconds, effectively staying in the fight. The double-action trigger requires a deliberate 12-pound pull, making accidental discharge virtually impossible under stress while still allowing rapid fire. This level of accuracy exceeds the performance of many full-size service pistols and demonstrates the weapon's potential for threat neutralization. Number 1. The Ruger LCP Max. The Ruger LCP Max represents the absolute pinnacle of pocket pistol evolution. This tiny polymer-framed firearm weighs only 10.5 ounces, but delivers an unprecedented 12 rounds of 380 ACP ammunition in a package smaller than most smartphones. 12 rounds changes the tactical math entirely. Traditional pocket pistols forced users to accept strict capacity limits, knowing that reloading under stress was a major liability. The LCP Max completely eliminates this limitation while maintaining the exact concealability that makes pocket guns attractive in the first place. The engineering required to fit a double-stacked 12-round magazine into such a compact frame pushed polymer technology to its absolute limits. Ruger's designers created a grip that adds minimal width while nearly doubling the ammunition capacity of classic competing designs. The 5 firearms covered represent decades of engineering refinement focused on a single goal, creating the most effective defensive tool in the smallest possible package. Each design is a masterpiece of miniaturization, sharing the common thread of being vastly underestimated by those who encounter them. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit subscribe. I cover firearms technology, tactical gear, and ballistics analysis every week. And if you want to see how these pocket guns perform in actual ballistics gel testing, that video is on screen now.